Mr. Papadopoulos from London, what are your thoughts on how events have been transpiring since that Hanoi summit? And do you believe that U.S. President Donald Trump has a bad team of advisors around him?
On one hand, we need to exercise caution concerning this report that there has been activity at this missile test site in North Korea. But on the other hand, we need to be aware that psychological tactics are often at play in international relations. So by John Bolton threatening North Korea with additional sanctions, this could be a way for the Americans to try and initiate another summit with North Korea. And at the same time, by the North Koreans conducting some sort of activity at this missile test site, this could be a way of Pyongyang trying to initiate another summit with the Americans. That is how international relations often works. Now, I don't expect journalists on Fox News or on the Daily Telegraph to understand that or to be aware of that, because after all, these are simple-minded people. But we must be aware that psychological tactics are often employed by governments, and especially when it comes to the American and North Korean governments. Now, is Donald Trump being advised by incompetent people? No, I don't believe that whatsoever. Whilst I bitterly dislike the views of John Bolton, he is an extraordinarily capable and intelligent individual who has very, very strong convictions. And Donald Trump shares John Bolton's convictions, not just when it comes to North Korea, but also when it comes to Iran, and also when it concerns Venezuela. We also must acknowledge that North Korea and America have been in a bitter standoff with each other for over half a century. Now, one summit, two summits, three summits, four summits is not going to resolve that standoff. It is going to take a very long period of time. So we mustn't have unrealistic expectations, the sort of unrealistic expectations that have been shown by British and American mainstream journalists. The brutal reality, of course, is this. Given that a military attack on North Korea by America is extremely unlikely, because as we know, North Korea has nuclear weapons, that means there are just two options left for Washington and Pyongyang. On the one hand, they remain indefinitely, or they continue with summits involving Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump in the hope that some progress will be made, that the tension on the Korean Peninsula will continue to decrease. And indeed, that has been, in my opinion, the main success of the meetings between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, in that tension on the Korean Peninsula has rapidly decreased. There is no more warlike talk coming from Washington and Pyongyang. So there are just two options for America and North Korea. Either they remain in this bitter standoff indefinitely, or they continue talking, and by talking, there's always the possibility of achieving a breakthrough. But that will only come, if it does come, it will only come after a prolonged period of time.